What's up, YouTube world? It's your boy CJ, and I am back. And this time, I got my boy Darius Butler in the building. I said Butler. I said it. I said it. I said it. You saw, I had to message you that Darius Baker in the building,
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
bro. And when I made the promotion earlier, and you were like, "Yo, that's a football player," and I'm like,
Yeah,
"Yo."
no, I was definitely confused. Like, what's up?
But yo, listen, expert film creator, film director. Super happy to have you on the platform, bro.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you for having me.
Yo, listen. So I'm saying today we are going to talk a little bit about producing short movie content on social media because like you are one of the like most amazing people when it comes to like cinematic content on social media, bro. You see, I cut a couple of clips on here. I know you
I
see that, right?
appreciate it, man. That looks great. that looks great. Yeah.
Yeah, the magic of a Canva. You know what I'm saying? The magic of Canva. I did that literally like 10 minutes before the show as we were sitting here. Me and you were just talking, bro.
Man, you did your research. The
Yeah,
forest video, the first video is hard.
oh yeah, for real, for real. Now listen, so to get before we even get into that, talking about that, tell us a little bit about your journey because I know like when it comes to the content that's on your page, a lot of people may be like, wait a second, I didn't even really see him. So to talk about what like who you're helping, what do you do as a profession?
So I'm a freelance filmmaker from the Chicago area, and I specifically I would say like my general area of film is in sports right now. It's not really subject to just anything specifically, but it's a hard major into running right now, honestly. So I feel like it's just some of the best running content out there. Just being honest with you,
Mm-hmm.
keeping it above. But no, it's I've been a filmmaker for about 6 to 7 years now. It's been a long journey. It's been a long journey, man. It's been a long journey. Started off as a photographer learning at high school, that sort of thing, my sophomore year. And then after a while, started gravitating more toward the film side of things. Tried a little bit in the film industry, but decided to just do my own thing.
Okay. And so you say you 7 years or you said eight? Eight? Like
6 or 7.
6 or 7? Okay. And so primarily in sports, because I know I see a lot of like running content,
Yes.
a lot of running content on your page. Do you run? I just gotta ask that question. Do you run?
I ran track like 1 year in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I got back into it, I didn't run it all. It was really just like, I thought it was just super like dope to film in general.
Mm-hmm.
But as you work more and more with different runners and go out to different events and races, you start to kind of pick it up. So at the moment, probably like 2 to 3 times a week, honestly.
Okay, and all right. So you run. So it's like all the content on your page is running. So I'm like, let me just make sure that as you're a fan of it, or if it was just like you were just doing it because your client, had you record them.
I've always liked the track world in general, but to get back into running, I would say filming it definitely helped me do it.
Gotcha. It's a little bit of motivation for you.
100%.
And so let me just pull this up real quick here. I want to actually share your page on screen. See, we can do this kind of cool stuff on here, right? And so let me just see if I pull this up. By the way, if you're not following him right now, go ahead and give him a follow. Get my brother's ratio, you know what I'm saying, in order here. Let's get him to that 2,000.
I appreciate that.
We gotta get him so he has more followers and follow. Because listen, when I tell you, there's a lot of people that I know you are right now following that don't have dope content like him. You need to go ahead and unfollow that one person and follow him. Let's just do that. I'm not asking y'all to add y'all to your follower account. I'm asking y'all to unfollow somebody and follow him.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So when we talk about when we go through your page, they might think it's this dude's page, right? Who's this dude? Let's talk about this dude right here because this guy
that is Running Mastermind. That's my friend Nasir. Probably one of the best, not even probably, that's the best running influencer in the game. 100%. So I've known him since we were like 13, honestly. Grew up together, that sort of thing. We decided one day, we were like, dude, we should just come together, like my filmmaking side. He's a track athlete to the core. Let's just put it together and see what we can create. And since then, that's my go-to guy. Like we work on everything, coming up with new ideas. It's like daily discussions on.
And you know what's so funny about the running content that you guys put out? I originally found you guys content because of a collaboration with Mizuno.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, who is this guy and why is his videos better than mine? Now I literally I was like, yo, I work with Mizuno too. I'm like, yo, ain't no way. Like, what? Ain't no
Mizuno thing is
way.
crazy.
Like, I
Mizuno
was
thing
like,
is
because look, as creators, you want to be like, you want to give the best to everybody's brand.
right.
And so I'm looking like, damn, I thought I was the only black dude that was giving that juice. And then I was like, who is this Darius guy? Who is this Darius guy hooking this guy up? And I was like, oh man, they dope, they fire. So that's literally how I found y'all. But like, how many times have y'all done collabs with Mizuno? Was it like once or twice or more than that?
Mizuno, I want to say that was maybe like a 3 to 4 video thing.
Okay.
And that was like our first time really working with like a big brand. To go that was like and it was fairly quick. I want to say like we were before the first Mizuno video. I'd say we were shooting for about a year.
And so the funny thing is, like, I want to talk about that because excuse me, I want to talk about that because sometimes when people they say they want to go to the bigger brands, they think it has to be Adidas or it has to be Nike at first. It still is a benefit starting out with a company like Mizuno, which is huge in itself, right?
Yeah, I think a lot of people, the dream obviously is like a Nike or like an Adidas because you always see the commercials and that sort of thing. But we thought like, oh, we can maybe get some traction with just in the running industry itself by going to different brands, whether that's like a small running brand or like apparel or even someone like Mizuno or like Brooks, that sort of thing. So it was just we tried a good amount of brands. I always want to say that we just started making a bunch of content for people.
So wait a second. So okay. So now we get into the juice because like if you paying attention to what he's saying, you guys reached out to them.
So it's basically like mostly in the film community, there's spec ads. So I guess for people who don't know what spec ads are, it's essentially you're making the type of work that you would want to sell to someone. So if you're trying to pitch, say for example, like a documentary. So like for this video, for example, we wanted to shoot a sports style like documentary, say like a brand like Nike or someone would pick it up. So we would just plan it ourselves, go out and shoot it, edit, have it to our highest quality. So that's something I would want to pitch to a brand.
I like it. So it's like you don't wait until you get with the brand to put your best foot forward. You put your best foot forward before you even get to them. And so you lay it out and say, hey, this is what we're doing on our own. So when we come in correct.
Yeah, each post should honestly be intentional. That's how we feel about a lot of the stuff that we put out. That's how I feel about every video, photo shoot, that sort of thing. If it's not your best foot forward and like something that I feel like at any moment someone could see your work and say, that's someone I want to work with, or that's someone that I'm like, you're 50-50 on their content. Not really sure if it's that professional,
No, I get it. I like it. And so I'm kind of like freeballing a little bit going through content because I'm like, I know just seeing stuff are cues, the kind of things you might even want to talk about. So is there anything where you said, hey, in your head that you wanted to create with these videos, or each time your clients are coming to you saying, hey, this is what I want, and you just give them that? Are you kind of like your little creative director freedom?
Usually, so the way we shoot the videos is that I like to not look at any running content in general, any sports, anything like that for inspiration. I get a lot of my inspiration from just normal film. When I see things and then incorporate into that, that's what I feel like makes it a little bit more different from anything. Just because in the fitness industry, I see a lot of times like people just wait for the trends and then they jump on it. Like you talked a little bit about on the last episode, but they wait for the trend, then they jump on it, and then everyone's kind of doing the same thing for a while. So with that, when I find different inspiration for different videos and we go put it out, that's typically what the brands want to see. They almost want to use the exact same thing that I just did.
You know what? Shout out to you for saying last episode. Come on now.
Yeah,
come on now.
Good stuff. I'm a watcher.
Hey, this is my guy in here. He's part of the community. I love it. And So, all right, and another question I think people
Mm,
might want to know, and that is, when it comes to these brand collaborations and stuff. You said put the content out there, you put your best foot forward, you're tagging them. How long did that take before you started to get some, like, some people, some interest, some clicks back, some companies saying, "Hey, we want to
mm.
collaborate with you guys," or "We looking for ambassadors," or things like that? How long did that take?
I would say from the first. So I was about to say, yeah. So it was about maybe 8 months between the first video to the original Mizuno situation,
Mm-hmm.
but it wasn't always consistent after that. There's not just we post something and then we tag a brand and it's instantly like we're working or that sort of thing. A lot of times we're not even thinking like, okay, this one is like something we're going to sell to someone or we're going to pitch this to a brand. It's more we're just trying to make the best content possible. That's the
Mm.
overall goal.
The best content possible to represent yourselves and tell the story you want to tell.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's key. I like it. And when we go through your content, one of the things that which we're talking about in general is how you produce short movies on social media, because that's what I consider some of these clips, bro. I literally consider, like,
Mhm.
even when you look at the intro here, this is the beginning of a movie. This is like the simple things, like, for me, like, I wish I would have it where I could pause it a little bit, but actually, let me go back. I could pause it. Like, just the beginning part where there's credits at the top, right? There's that first frame. It's almost like, let me go back to the thumbnail. I want you to see it.
Mhm.
The first frame, like right here,
Yeah.
top right. That just feels like a movie cover or a poster, right? So that's a great thumbnail. Then when I click it, boom, right from the beginning, I got, within 3 seconds is a scene change. That's a key that I've been learning. And then, like, that one shot where it was like this blur, but then they focused on him. That second shot, it was just so quick and subtle, but cinematic. People know what they're doing, and I caught it, and I'm like, talk about putting in the extra, like that right there. That's a zoom out shot. I mean, you're so far back,
Mhm.
but these are little things that make it feel different than just someone with a camera or a tripod holding it. You're up on a staircase, getting him running around, and you're running through the city. You're probably on the other side of the block right now, or risking your life in the street for him. Talk about that.
Yeah, no, sometimes it does kind of come down to like risking it for the shot. Within reason though, within reason. Like, downtown Chicago, like in the middle street is kind of crazy. But no, well, I like to go out without any I like to have an outline of what I'm looking for essentially. I have a general shot list of kind of certain things, but a lot of it is free flowing, just kind of off of the environment, kind of how everything's kind of looking because things look different. Like that shot right there specifically, we went on 2 different days. So the shot actually looked 2 different ways, and then we had to come back and then decide what was better. Originally, that shot was going to be just a static, honestly. And then I started thinking, okay, what's a little bit different? So maybe like a tight zoom, which I did a couple times in this one, like right here. So it's just little things that are different and not necessarily something that's just in the running industry already, something that's just not you see all the time on content.
Yeah, you definitely don't see it all the time, and like the tags in itself too. Like, obviously you're gonna give yourself credit. The
Mhm,
hashtags are very niche down,
mhm.
um, and the collabs you guys do are super dope. And so you've done stuff with pretty much every run sneaker that you guys are fans of, or there specific ones you like kind of called out, say, hey, we want to work with these companies, where the ones you would tag.
So at first you try to pick specific ones that you really want to work with, like you want Nike, so you want to buy some Nike shoes and then do a Nike video. But a lot of that is honestly up to Nasir for it because he's super into the shoes. Like I don't know anyone who knows more about running shoes than him.
Wow.
So a lot of times it's something that he personally wants to choose. Like no one is actually look like right there those off-white running shoes. We never seen anyone even wear them, let
No.
alone let's do a photo shoot, possibly a video, that sort of thing. It's kind of just his own style. And I'm taking it and being saying like, what can we do video wise? What is the shoe saying about it that we can turn into a short film?
Yeah, this by the way, these are kind of sick. These sneakers right here are kind of sick.
They are super dope.
So I gotta ask him how much money he spent on these sneakers because he has a lot of sneakers, bro. It's a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah. I want to say like 50s, maybe even 100. I don't even know. I don't even know anymore.
So one question I wanted to also throw out there. Let me pull this off the screen for a second, and that is, do you remember your first like half a year on social media? I don't know how. By the way, before I even go to that, how long have you been on social media, Instagram?
Just in general, just
Yeah,
like just
just in
using
general, like using it for your personal page.
maybe since like the beginning, like whichever year that was. I've had
And
an
so,
Instagram since it came out, honestly.
so you've had this same page.
Yeah,
So hold on, how many posts do we have on this page?
they have changed. They have changed. I've deleted archives and posts.
Oh, I was
I've
about to
had
say,
I've
like,
had multiple
bro,
pages. Yeah, it's been
that's
through its
like 27 posts in like 15 years.
basically the page right now is almost a reflection of the filmmaking career.
Gotcha. So you've
So
archived all the other personal stuff off the page.
yeah, I've had different moments of like archiving this, or I've had other pages that I've worked on in the past. I was in the car scene for a really long time. That's how I got like my photography started.
Mm-hmm.
So I built a page with a friend, and we built that from the ground up, and it did really well. So and that switched over to the filmmaking. Just did it off my personal.
And so, do you remember the first 6 to 12 months when you start posting on social media on this page? Let's say when you archived everything else,
Mhm.
like, how did this look? Was it, well, it was like pictures of you at first? Was it straight up just, I'm going to put my clients on here and I don't want my face to be, I want to be behind the scenes? How was the content on here?
It was random, dude. It was a mess. It was really just like a mix of personal posts, just like pictures of me, and then it would be like random. I might try to sneak a photo shoot in there, or it was the very first video I believe I ever did with him, which I think is still on the account. I think it's at the bottom, but it was just a jumbled mess of like everything essentially. And then after a while, when I was decided to like really hone in on the social media aspect of it, then I was like, okay, let's like filter through this and start new, basically.
Gotcha. Because I like asking that question because I know over time all of our pages adapt and change.
Mhm.
And I know a lot of people they get kind of in their head sometime and they feel like they can't change. And I want them to know that they can,
Mhm.
but like I said, intentions are cool, but you still have to have it's after good strategy. It
Right.
still is a good chat. How do you switch it? Like, because there may be people that follow you at one point for one reason, and now
Right.
you're giving them something totally different. And the people that's closest to you are people that really like you as a person, that are close to you, part of your community. They'll kind of go along with you for the ride until they realize, oh, well, this is still quality too. I didn't know I was interested in running as much, but now I am because of
Exactly.
you. Right? You have to bring them along to that. Somebody who was following you just because they liked you, that doesn't mean
Mhm.
that they were gonna like this. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. And I think that's part of the reason for keeping the same page instead of just starting up a completely new one at the time, was
Man.
because you already had a certain amount of like support and following. And I get that like a lot of people they feel the pressure of like I have to make a new one and catch the algorithm and that sort of thing. But I personally don't even focus on the algorithm.
Mm.
I personally don't like the whole chasing it and doing like I have to do reel after reel and then keep it consistent. I feel like once you're finding the right people and you're building the right connection, you have the right followers in certain things. Like you have brand reps, you have people who are actually represent like different people in business that you want to work with. I feel like it gets to the eyes that it needs to.
I'm glad you said that, bro. Like this is what we're talking about because people sometimes worry and they probably stay in their head. Now, granted, even myself, so I have to take this to myself. Sometimes I would even at some point, so a couple of years ago, I was like, dang, my content is better than a lot of these people with
Mhm.
100,000 followers. I know my content is more valuable than some of these people.
Right.
And then I would look at it like, why don't I have a, but it's like, I don't really care so much because I know the impact that my page has
Yeah.
and the people who follow it and the influence that the page has because like you said the brand representatives, the companies,
Hmm.
mayors of cities, things like that where it's like
Exactly.
Oh, it's huge. And I'm like, I say, like Ebony Fit Weekend, for example, right? Because you
Right.
know about Ebony Fit Weekend. I always like to use this example. The owners of Ebony Fit Weekend, Greg and Ashley, you can take their Instagram pages. You can take my page from being a creative director, Ebony Fit Weekend, plus having my own business and all my own events. And you can take the Ebony Fit Weekend page, and it doesn't equal 100,000. It just doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
But you can take somebody with 300,000 followers, and they can't move like we can when we
Exactly.
make a post and get people to show up and travel and do all these things and all these events happening and that much influence and get the deals we get. So
Yeah.
I don't say it's not about followers, it's about who, like you said,
Exactly.
and is it your right audience? Because there's people I know, literally millionaires, bro, that got less than 2,000 followers because they're not worried about that.
Exactly. Exactly. I feel like once you're really concerned on the content, it doesn't really matter. Because like me personally, like as I run into people sometimes, like different directors and that sort of thing, and they're dudes who do huge projects, like they travel all over the world for it, work with these huge brands, and they have no social media presence
Mm.
whatsoever, and that's like normal for a lot of people.
And
And if you, yeah,
we said that because sometimes social media, you're right on that. Some people have no social media presence, but I've also noticed that sometimes some people have presence on other platforms other than our primary one.
hmm,
So it's not that they're not here, but they might go on LinkedIn, and I'm like, damn, you got 1,000 LinkedIn connections.
right,
I might only have 500. So their presence may just be stronger somewhere like a LinkedIn or, man, this bro. There's some people that's using Snapchat, and I'm like, I didn't even know y'all still on Snapchat. And they're like, yeah, hit me on
yeah.
Snap. I'm only on Snap. I'm like, what? Are you on Snapchat?
I use it for one group chat. I
Oh,
have
okay.
one singular group chat that's been there for
Forever.
forever. That's
Mhm.
the only reason that I have Snapchat still.
Yeah, I mean, the things people tell me to get in Snapchat for, I'm not gonna say on YouTube, but it's just like they like hit me on Snap after
Yeah, that's
hours. You know what I'm
crazy.
saying?
That's kind of crazy.
It's kind of wild, bro. But we're not gonna talk about that. So what? Uh, I don't know if this is even. I took the. By the way, I took the label of film director
Hmm.
off of Instagram.
Hmm.
So if you could, and I don't know what your answer is going to be, but it's interesting to think: is there a difference that comes to in your head between the way people make content as a normal content creator and being a film director?
I want to say no and yes, because as a content creator, you wear all hats. You're editing, you're producing, you're directing, like in the videos, like when you're telling people to do this sort of thing, you're trying to structure shots. That's directing. That's also cinematography to a certain extent on basically on how serious like you're planning on shooting. Like at one point you are wearing all the hats. I feel like as a saying film director itself, it gives a different type of notion. Like it's leaning more towards film instead of content. But in content creation, you do have all aspects. You could just be labeled as an editor, but that's also content creating.
Hmm. Interesting. Um, because like you said, it's one of those things. Film directors, man, like you said, your hands are kind of still a little bit in both, but not as much. Like you said, as a content creator, you're everything.
Yeah.
You're the talent, you're the visionary, you're the producer, you're the editor, you're the everything. You're like, but from your aspect, what you would like to do, would you like to um work with someone else who's helping with talent in certain ways, and you're just like, hey, I'll just stay behind the camera and
Mm.
direct the visions, but you worry about makeup, you worry about the scene change, or you worry about things like that, and let somebody else edit, or you still want to do the edit?
At the current moment, I handle all aspects of it,
Mm-hmm.
but I know with the bigger the projects become and the more connections you make, you have to actually let go of certain things. There's always going to be someone who's, hey, he might be a better colorist, he might be a better editor, and like me personally, I don't think I'll ever take my hands off of cinematography.
Mm.
Some people love directing. I think directing is just an important aspect of it. Like you have to learn that sort of thing. But I'm always gonna have a good hand in it. But I'm not attached to like I have to control every single aspect of it because if I find someone and I really do believe in their work, I have no problem collaborating with them. If there's someone who's a great casting director, like some things, honestly, you don't really want to do after a while. You don't
Yeah,
want to be able to handle every aspect of it, especially if someone's passionate about that certain thing. If someone's
I'm
a
with you.
passionate editor or like VFX, if you look at my videos, I do know VFX.
Hmm.
I'm not a VFX person, but there's always room for it. And if there's something that I specifically need, and I'm like VFX would be perfect for this, I'll go find someone.
Yeah. Speaking of right in that lane, I sometimes go back and forth with this, bro.
Mm,
Editing, right?
mm,
Sometimes I love it because I am in control and I have a vision. And as a creative person like ourselves, like you have a vision, and if you edit it,
mm,
you can put the vision together as long as the copy is there, as long as the video is there. You're like, I can make it the vision come true.
mm.
But then sometimes it's like, even though I recorded it and the vision, I still want to hand it to somebody, but it's so hard to trust and give it to someone else and
Yeah.
say, now make that. Because like I even talked to you, I think a little bit earlier about, hey, I was like, I recorded this video from Ebony for Weekend, right?
Right.
People watching this, they're watching it live or watching the replay, they're probably gonna hear some information. What's up, Rosie? I see you in the chat. What's up? What's up? Rosie's always tapped in, one of our favorite community members. And so like Ebony for Weekend, I recorded a lot of behind the scenes, which you were gonna help me with, by the way. But
Yeah, yeah.
shout out for that. But I
Mm-hmm.
know you couldn't make it. But we definitely going to do stuff in the future. But all the
100%.
stuff we did behind the scenes, and I just, if I hand it to somebody else, the way I was recording it and the
Mm-hmm.
way that I know it happened,
Right.
it won't come out the same. Now that doesn't mean it's good or bad, because some of
Right.
you might edit it better than me.
Right.
But I just know the vision in my head, and so it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to just give up on that vision
Mm.
and just give it to somebody else.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of times that's really so to the question, I enjoy it sometimes. I will give you that. I enjoy it sometimes. It's not
Yeah.
I'm not in editing like I'm not super passionate about editing. Sometimes I really do enjoy it though. Like you said, when you have a vision, I was like, I want it to sound like this. I want the color to be specifically that. It's like you gain a lot from it. It is tedious. I definitely get why some people do avoid it, but it can be fun to a certain extent. But I feel like handing it off to someone, I feel like that's just up to building a good relationship with an editor.
Mm,
If you know someone and you're really like building this relationship together, and then you're talking about specifically what you want for the vision, I think that's a huge part. You guys have to have almost the same vision. They have to understand where you're coming from creatively. And
mm-hmm.
sometimes they might not be able to, but that's why finding a good editor and be able to work and then do different calls and check in and revisions, that sort of thing is like pivotal for that.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Man, it's just sometimes with editing, you think I'm gonna give it 30 minutes, or you say I'm gonna get it done in an hour,
Right.
and then you're sitting there 3 hours later, like, oh my god, like, why
Mm-hmm.
did I just go down there? And you go into a rabbit hole, right? Because you like, I can make it better, I can make it better, and you're thinking about people's attention spans, and you're thinking about stories that are being told, and you're trying to take yourself out of your body and put in someone. How are they absorbing it? How are they going to take in the content? So trying to make it better and better. And then I was like, man, I was like, it's not that it's like, man, I should have just handed it to somebody else. And I'm like, no, I shouldn't have.
Right.
I'm definitely. I would just say this though, for people who are thinking about handing it to somebody else, be very careful about who you hand the stuff to edit,
Yes.
because sometimes you'll waste a lot of your time trying to
Mhm.
find somebody super cheap on Fiverr. Or God, have you ever hired somebody on Fiverr?
Fiverr. No, actually, I try to hire someone for like a graphic for something I'm working on. So like a graphic design sort of thing,
Mm-hmm.
and they just never responded. Like they just never responded. I got my money back. That sort of
Yeah,
thing. That was the first time I used Fiverr. I've had it for years, just for like the possibility. I was like, okay, it sounds good on paper, but I haven't actually put it into any projects.
I've used it multiple times, and it's 50-50. I'll say it at that. It's
Mhm.
50-50. But you get what you pay for a lot of times. And then
Right.
also there was this automate what do you call it? There was a team that you could pay, and they have a lot of these agencies now where you can get unlimited editing for a certain price. I'm sure you've seen it. So it'd be like, hey, for $1,000 a month, we will give you access to our editing team, and you can submit and a limited number of videos for the month. But now here's the thing: it's not like I could send 10 at once and all 10 get done at once. They have a max of like 2 or 3 projects at a time. So some of those videos might take a day or two to get turnaround time. Some of them might take 3 or 4 days or 5. So it's still, even though it's unlimited, it's still limited, right? So
Right.
it's not like you can just drop 10 videos at once. But sometimes those, I would say that became more tedious than anything, going back and forth with, hey, I want it to look like this. Hey, check the spelling on that. Hey, move this word up and more of it's the middle. And I was like, I didn't spend 2, 3, 4 hours with you going back and forth, uploading stuff, correcting it, watching your video, then circling it, and then telling you what to fix instead of me just doing it. So it was kind of annoying. So I just said screw that and just took it back underneath house, take it back in house.
Yeah, no, and I've never actually heard of that. I didn't actually know that there was like
Oh,
teams.
really?
I actually didn't know about that. Like you can hire teams of editors.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say even over that, if you see someone on like Instagram, for example, and you're like you love their content, that sort of thing, and they're like, I would say, and they're like they specifically do editing or just like filmmaking in general, I would just reach out to them because more times than not, like they're really like friendly to like opening to talking about different opportunities and like offers and then pricing, that sort of thing, and you're gonna get what you want.
That's just true.
Because if you're already a fan of their content, you're gonna kind of get the style that they're already working with compared to just a random team.
That's like somebody hitting me up and saying, "Hey, CJ, I want you to do your content. Guess what? I got a price for you.
Right.
I got a price."
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Just like you, and look, Darius has a price for you. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you see what he's doing for Nazir? Hey, come on. Hey, what can he do for you? But this is so you can see. So Floxy is the one I was talking about. We've had Floxy in the past. They have Be Creatives as well, but with this, they literally do these companies, you can do unlimited like I said, unlimited editing for your content. So this is a key. Like if anybody has a small business or something like that, or just any content creators just looking for that, these are the prices, right? So $500, you get unlimited graphic design and custom illustrations. For $9.95 a month, you get graphic design, custom illustrations, logos, and branding guides, presentation design, video editing, motion graphics, and copywriting. Unlimited, right? For $1,700, you add all those things with virtual assistants, with drag and drop builders, and PSD to HTML, which is some stuff that I don't know about. I ain't honest with you. I'm not the website builder, but in general, you see, like you get all these other features too. Zapier integration. You get real time collaboration. So basically, people delivering it in Canva. So when they deliver it in Canva, you can go back and then change it around. So that's new because it wasn't like that when we had it a couple of years ago. It was like I was like, I can't change it. I don't have the software. So that's a new thing. But yeah, it's a big industry, bro. It really is.
Okay. That's not bad. It seems like a good tool for someone like if you don't even want to like dabble in that sort of thing. Like I definitely get it. Like because some of that stuff, like web design, I definitely get. Like I can't even tell you how many hours I've gone just trying to go through websites and building them over and over again and editing things.
And I would say this too, like let's just say this may just be an idea for somebody who is starting a YouTube channel and literally says, I don't want to edit anything at all.
Right.
I just don't want to even deal with it. Yeah, you might be like, damn, I'm really spending $1,000 a month. Yeah. Trust me, because you want to talk about unlimited YouTube edits. Yes, it's worth the $1,000. Like literally, if you did videos like me, I'm doing like 3 to 5 videos a week, and I would like to do 7. I would like to do a post every day.
Right.
I'm just all about right now pushing as much content as possible to just get the watch time hours up and build the channel, right? So I know as many opportunities out there, and YouTube is evergreen. As long as my SEO is good, people can always find it. So at the end of the day, I'm just pushing as much $1,000. If I can get somebody else to handle all that, is worth it. But for me, like I said, I'm just very picky about the way certain things look. So that's the only reason that I don't do it. But it might work for somebody else.
It might just honestly, yeah. If you're trying to play the consistency game and you're on and on and on, because it does become tiring. Honestly, if you're on the daily grind with shooting, it could be a good idea.
Yeah. What Rosie said here. She says, uh, what if you have someone as your assistant you can hire to bring your vision to life while you create other stuff? Yeah. Do you have an assistant right now, Rosie, or is that something you were looking to hire someone? But because yeah, when you say you can bring in somebody to bring your life to vision, like that's what a creative director can do. You know,
Mhm.
someone who's just literally there to be like that creative brain power to kind of push your message and your vision forward. So yeah, definitely a creative director, someone who's going to help you push that forward. And like Darius said earlier, some of your favorite content creators, you might just want to reach out to some of them and see if they'll do a one off, see if they'll edit something for you, see if they do a collaboration, see if they do something like that, and then after you see how you like how they work, maybe then you hire them or something. But yeah, there is that. If you have more questions, drop them in the chat. I got a few more for Darius before we get out of here, and that is, I don't know if you've had one, but
Mm.
talk about your worst editing experience. And that doesn't
Oh,
mean with the client. That could be anything. Could be that,
worst editing experience.
yeah, you could f something up. Somebody else could have, like, what else? What's the worst?
Let's give it. My worst editing experience was with Adobe using Premiere Pro.
Mm.
I would say lumping together as a whole, because for some people, I say for most people, if you just look up Premiere Pro issues, it's crashing. It's dealing with the constant crashing, and then it's disconnecting the media. You have to relink the media all the time. And there's been a couple times where I'm into like deep into projects, like 10, 15 minute long projects with a ton of editing, sound, color
Sheesh.
grading, and then crashes. And I just happen to auto save, and I'll have to start over.
Yes.
I kid you not. That's happened about like 3 to 4 times. I'm not on Adobe anymore. I use DaVinci now. But during the whole Adobe era, I couldn't. I couldn't.
Yo, that
It didn't.
auto save be some BS. Cause
Yes.
I'm like, yo, why you ain't saving the last 10, 15
Mm-hmm.
minutes? And they be like, oh, like, cause I had that problem a few times with Power Director. I still
Mm-hmm.
use Power Director. I mean, that's just what I'm comfortable with. So don't you guys come from me in the chat. And I use InShot. But it's like Power Director has one time just crashed on me, and I don't know why it didn't save. But it doesn't do that now. It's been better. A couple of
Mm-hmm.
years ago, man, I feel like I was in, like you said, a 10-minute video or something, and it just totally didn't save. It just crashed, and I was like, and you lose all that motivation, all that juice as a creator
Yeah.
when it crashes on you. You've edited, you put all that work into it, then it crashed, or let's you're doing it on your phone, man. It's the worst. I'm in something, and all of a sudden it won't save. I was like, in short, save it, and it won't save. I'm like,
Yeah. It's
bro, and then you put it in the draft, and you put it in the draft, and the draft doesn't save.
mm-hmm.
Come on, bro.
Sometimes it works out for the better though. Sometimes it's deleted the whole project, and I come into it with new eyes.
Yeah, new eyes. I'm pissed off.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do it. My new eyes. I want to close my eyes and go to bed. I'm like, F this.
Yeah.
I usually go back to the next day, bro. I like
Mm.
if it crashed on me, I'm not editing it the same night. I'm just not.
No, and that's how I like to edit in general. I edit at night, but I like to just watch it back in the morning.
Mm.
That's it. That's how I feel like I couldn't really trust it. So if I'm editing like a project for a client and then I finish it at night, I'm not gonna send it off. I'm not gonna do any of that sort of thing. I like to watch it a couple times the next day if I'm still feeling the same about it. Because I feel like after a while, once you're sitting in front of the computer that long, you're not really thinking straight. I feel like once it's 3 a.m., like energy drinks, that whole thing, like you're not getting the best out of what
Are
you can
you
do.
Red Bull or what? Prime?
Dude, I try anything. I'm like, I go to the gas station, I pick anything.
Bro, don't tell me you just pick Literally anything,
Like, I'm a sucker for packaging, bro. Like, if I see it and I think it looks cool, I'm just gonna grab it.
bro. This
I like
dude out
trying
here,
the new stuff.
and that should be some of that should be gross. Be honest.
Celsius. I tried Celsius a couple times. It wasn't the best.
What?
It wasn't the best, dude. Honestly.
What? Celsius? You cannot talk about Celsius. I'm trying to get them to be a sponsor, bro.
Oh man! Shout out to Celsius. I love Celsius.
Bro.
But to be fair, I had 2 of them. One of them was bad. It was like the orange one. It kind of tastes like smoke. I don't know what was up with. Shout out to Celsius though. Shout out to Celsius.
You see Luda in the chat laughing at you like,
hey,
come on.
CJ. Shout out to them.
Yo, they totally not gonna spot. There goes that.
Man, shout out to them. I love Celsius. All my homies love Celsius.
But no, yeah, no, but it's cool. Like it's funny because there was one flavor one time where I was like, but the other flavors are all like, but yeah, Red Bull not good. I like Red Bull. I don't know why, but Red Bull, I kind of rock.
I've had Red Bull like twice in my life. To be honest with you, like
what?
It was a weird thing when I was growing up. I only seen like adults drink Red Bull, so I thought it was like alcohol or something, bro. Like being honest with you. So when I finally like ended up drinking it, I was like, yeah, this is terrible. Monster. I'm not a fan of Red Bull or Monster. Mm-hmm. Anything else, it's all good.
It's like CC. I think you lost that sponsorship. Yo, no, it's okay. It's okay. Everybody can have their, everybody can't like everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But CJ likes Celsius. CJ
loves Celsius.
Now I like Prime also.
Prime. I've had a couple Primes. They're good.
Prime is good. Red Bull is not it's an acquired taste. It's an acquired, like you have to, if you drink it a few times, you're like, eh. Now, one thing I don't like is beer, and I can't acquire that taste. I just don't like beer.
Oh man, I'm glad you said that. I've been trying. Mm-hmm. I've been trying to get into it for years. Mm-hmm. Like, I've been trying. Like you go all the time. I have not found a beer that I like. I found some that are more tolerable than others. I would say that. Mm-hmm. I've never thought it was just that's just great.
Darius the taste tester.
He knows. It'll be a shoot. We'll go out. I pick anything, dude. I just pick anything.
Listen, ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way I can just go with anything. Yeah, because there'll be some growth. It depends on, especially if we go to the hood and the hood gas stations, they be having all kind of. It'd be like a Kool-Aid energy drink. How you get Kool-Aid energy, and you about to drink it?
Yeah, you look at it and say no.
Yeah, if it say Kool-Aid energy, it don't even look right.
You don't even get a little like excited, like
no
mystery of it.
No, bro, that's not even shouldn't be a thing. It shouldn't even be considered. It's like, hold on, I'm about to show you something. You telling me this guy right here can have an energy drink, and you're gonna drink it?
So think about this, right? You grew up with Kool-Aid, right?
Yeah.
You know how good it is.
Yeah.
So mind you, what if you had a Kool-Aid that kept you up all day?
I don't
just like it,
bro.
That's a win-win,
bro.
You know what? Gatorade, they dropped the energy drink, like the actual, like, what is it, Fast Switch? That's good.
You know, the funny thing is, they do have an energy drink. I forgot what it's called. It's called Rise. You remember? You probably seen it.
No, I've never seen that.
You never seen this?
I've never seen Rise. No.
Yeah, I've seen this. You got to go to the hood, bro.
Yeah, I'm out in the burbs, man. I'm not in the hood.
Ah, okay. This is this is the Kool-Aid energy drink. This is in the hood. This is in the south side of Atlanta. I'm sorry. What? But I don't know how you're doing Russian roulette with energy drinks. Exactly. Russian roulette. Literally just picking the color.
I mean, but sometimes you just got to try it out. You got to feel it out. How do you know you won't like it? That could be your next.
But you know how people start itching and stuff? People just start itching.
Oh, for sure.
And then you ever feel anything like that?
Man, I had, what is it, C4?
Yeah.
Oh my God, crack. That's insane. Like
C4 is gross.
I felt every heartbeat. I can't lie to you. Like it was strong. It was strong, but it's like I said, like you look at it, you're like, dude, like C4, like explosives. That's got to be decent. I'm willing to take that risk.
It shouldn't be considered. Yeah, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be, bro. Kool-Aid energy drink. This is just not even should be a thing. I don't know.
That
Like
might be a hit though.
it said 4 out of 2 stars. I mean 4 out of 5 stars, but I don't see how. I don't see how. People in here tripping, man.
Hear them out.
Yeah, hear them out. What to say?
Hear
Let's see.
'em out.
Customers say 0 calories. I don't want a 0 calorie anything Kool-Aid.
Think about it though. It's healthy to an extent.
They said,
Think about it though.
rise this heart attack in a can. Look at this. These people probably not even still alive.
Great taste.
These people, they were alive on April 30th. They said, I love
April
the Sunny
30th.
D flavor in the morning.
Whoa, Sunny D flavor is crazy. I can't lie to you. That's actually crazy.
Best flavored explosive energy drink. I mean,
So right there, that didn't make you a little bit curious?
it did, but I would have see. But see, the difference is between me and you. I'm doing research. You just go in the grocery store into the gas station and just grab it off the shelf.
You gotta look at it. Like you walk past, you see all those colors. They're doing their job right. That's marketing. That's great marketing.
Ain't no way, bro.
And then you look at that, and be like, oh man, the flavor names, bro. Come on.
All right, give me a prime, or better yet, give me a Celsius. How about that?
Yeah, shout out.
Shout out to Celsius, right?
Shout out Celsius, man.
Oh, so real quick, hold on. I gotta go to the comments. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to judge your taste buds. That's awesome. So I guess you don't like Rise. I guess she doesn't like it.
Yeah, maybe she don't like Rise. I gotta try Rise. I gotta put that on the list.
Yeah. Well, you say you gotta get out the burbs, man.
Yeah. Nah, maybe not, man. The birds are sweet.
Yeah. So, random question here. Who's your favorite creator you follow online, or some of you enjoy their content?
Some of my favorite, so it would be like filmmaking community. So I would have to say Danny Gevirtz. That's one of my favorite. He's a filmmaker, YouTube filmmaker, that sort of thing. Had a really good movie this year. There's Ryan Cowell, there's Brandon Washington. There's a ton of dudes. Like I think it's a dude named like Kofi, something like that. He's in like the camera industry. That's all I watch. I only watch like filmmaking sort of YouTube, that whole side of things. But those are some like my favorite creators off rip.
Mm-hmm.
But that's like a ton of like different inspiration, learning, that sort of thing. Those are like good channels that you can go to and like learn the basics of like filmmaking and editing and that sort of thing.
So there's this other guy that I follow. Hold on, I'm about to show you this page. Really, really good at kind of. Hold on, you said cinematic. Let me see. Yeah, here it is. Here's this stuff. I'm gonna pull up this page real quick so you can see. I don't know if you ever heard of him, but his name is CJ. Just let me know. Let me know what you think about
CJ is that dude, man.
That's what I'm saying. You know,
that's some of the best energy I've seen in running content. Not even running, fitness content. My fault.
Let me tell you a story about these two guys that eventually became brothers.
I mean, come on now.
You got this kid named Tone.
Look at that.
Some shit like that. Straight out of the 17th from New Orleans. Been rich since he was like 13, 14 years old. He came with his own style. They tried to steal his shit. He ended up putting the whole game on his back. Had clientele for years and always had good product. And then you got Slim from the south side of Atlanta. Loved playing basketball. You're a real mama's boy. And that's how he got the name Titty Boy. Slicker than a spill of oil. As soon as he got his hands on his first pack and flipped that,
look at that. That's storytelling. You see that?
Up and devised a plan on how to
that's me. I threw it 40 yards. Did you see that?
Welcome to College Grove.
And I got the credits. Come, rock with your boy. Now watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch what's about to happen. What's about to happen? Hold on. Oh, even more. More credits. Now with the backdrop. Come on now. Talk about cinematic.
Man, I've been watching for a while. I've been watching CJ for a while, man. Back in the Keely videos.
Oh, me and Keely, what, when we go to the gym?
Yeah, from the early like Mizuno when we
Oh
first came out.
yeah, exactly. Achilles gonna like that. She's gonna be like, I like him. She shouted me. He shouted me out.
Oh, I did forget one more creator.
Okay.
So if you don't know Valandis
Hold on. I need to pull him up. What is it? How you spell it?
is VUH. I think it's like, and then like land. I don't know how he specifically does it. Right there, the first one.
Holy crap! That's a lot of followers.
Sir, that's one of the most underrated dudes in the game. Fire stuff.
Wow. So these are amazing shots. Where is he located? New York?
I think he's Detroit or something like that. Detroit.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely check this out.
But like tons of huge inspiration from like early on in my career, learning like just the ropes of it.
Speaking of something I wanted to ask you, and that is about color grading, because this is one of those things that to be honest, like I don't know anything about it, and I'm like, okay, what is color grading for those people like myself who are like, what do people be talking about? Because we can see there's a difference, and sometimes like the pictures when you guys do the like the example A and B, but what does that actually mean?
So color grading is essentially just, it's almost manipulating color to just get a specific look. So like there, for example, so a lot of times when people see reels on Instagram and it's like color grading, like the before and after, like you said, and they just see like a gray picture, and everyone in the comments is like, you just edited gray and then made a certain thing. That's log footage. Log footage is essentially raw footage. That way you're able to push the colors as much as you want, as much as your camera is capable of, essentially. So from there, you're able to almost get any look that you're particularly looking for. Like if you look at, say, like big, huge movies like the Batman or like something like that, how it's like super dark the entire time. That's its own style of color grading. Something that's like, or like Joker, it's a little bit more green. Like, you know, those specific styles is essentially the work of like a good colorist compared to just throwing like an Instagram filter over.
Okay. And then I'm glad, that's a great explanation, because like you said, changing it just from black and white, I mean from color to black and white, that's not, and I mean that's literally just you throwing a filter on it, or like you said, that's just making, showing log footage, right? It's not color grading. What you're doing, like in this particular photo, which one is would this be considered?
That's the before. That's log footage.
Log footage, and this is what's directly off the camera.
Yeah. So anytime that you're shooting, so any movies, any big filmmaking sort of things, all the footage looks like that from straight out the gate, because you're shooting in log. People often send it to a colorist or they do it themselves. But from there, you're able to craft the certain styles. I want to bring the highlights down. I want to bring the shadows up. I want to give it a slight warmer tint. You shoot in log, so it doesn't, I don't know if you ever tried it, but if you're shooting like a normal video and then you throw a bunch of effects on it or use like the iPhone sliders, that sort of thing, you'll easily see that the color starts to like kind of break apart or get like really like fuzzy in areas, or like it looks kind of like deep fried. It's because it's not log footage. It's already a color that's already baked in, like Apple, like with the phones and all that sort of thing. It's already a color baked in that they're seeing like is good. I think the new one does it though. The new one does shoot in log.
The iPhone 15.
Yeah. That one does shoot in log.
Yeah, there's a way to do it. I don't know nothing about it yet, but because I like I said, I don't know about it. I don't even feel like I understood color grading. Plus, it's like I don't know if I had the time to learn it yet. But if I learn it where it makes sense to do it on here and then be able to edit it in post, that'd be cool. But I know like I use a Sony A700. I think it is a 700 Sony A700 that I have. I can't remember which one, but a videographer friend of mine has the same thing, or he'll use mine sometime, and he'll record everything in log and literally, then go to edit. And I don't do it like that. I just gonna take it directly how it is, but it still looks good.
Yeah,
it still looks good. But
no, it definitely has this its place. If I'm doing something with it's like a quicker turnaround, sometimes you have like built-in presets that don't have to be severely color graded. They don't have to be completely raw. Like it can be like Sony has like S-Cinetone. It's like a already pre-built color that's supposed to look like.
Yeah, and then we definitely worked on the presets, so I wouldn't have to do that. So he, made sure my stuff was set up like that. So that's good for anybody who has a digital camera. Like, do you think that it's a necessity where they have to learn color grading, or you just think it's a benefit, or is it like a must at some point everyone needs to learn it?
It's a benefit, but if you're pushing really for, I think if cinematography is like your route, like if you really just love crafting shots and then giving it a certain feel and look, color grading is a must. You're going to want to learn that at some point. But I think it comes down to what content you're really making. Because if you're not caring too much on making something a specific mood and you're more focused on, like I said, consistency. If you want to put out this, and that, you just want to cut it up, make it hype, that sort of thing, it's not really an essential need for it. People usually say that sort of thing for like big projects. If you really want to go all out, me personally, I color grade all my footage. Just because you never know what specific color you're going for, or sometimes I have something in mind that I do want to play around with later. Like you have specific LUTs that you've made for yourself. LUTs are presets for anyone who doesn't know. But yeah, it's a necessary skill to have if you really want to push your videos to their best capabilities.
Cool.
Oh, I think it muted a little bit. Oh, I can't hear you.
I don't know. I've been talking, but for the last 10 seconds. But I said basically, I don't know what you mean, Luna. He's trying to get brownie points. What was he trying to get brownie points on? We still talking about the Kool-Aid, Kool-Aid energy drink here. I don't know. What is he trying to get the brownie points on? Let us know. Let us know in the chat. What is next for you? Like any future goals or announcements this year? Are you just kind of like grinding right now with clients? Like what's next for you?
So I'm starting my own production company called Real Bakery. So play on the last name, that sort of thing. Gonna be announcing it soon. It's essentially gonna be the home of all my future work. So gonna be pushing more for narrative films, being more creative on that sort of thing. Still gonna be doing the content that I normally do. So branding for different companies, the normal social media work, but definitely gonna be looking towards some more longer form, like short films, or even the goal is to have some feature films. The goal is to actually put out some real stuff, get into festivals. The Oscar, that's the big goal. That's the big goal. That is the big goal. We're gonna win an Oscar one day.
I love it. Look, I'm claiming it. Listen, right here, you heard it first. Because by the way, this is his first show / podcast / real like interview like this. So he said it here, Oscar. It's gonna happen. It's gonna be done. And he said it here on this show first. So I'm taking that, and anything I need to do to help, just let me know. But yeah, I'm excited for you. And when are we gonna get you down to Ebony Fair weekend though? That's what we're trying to figure out. You already know. You want to talk about movies. You want to talk about cinematic. You want to talk about scenery. Come on now.
Man, I already had a vision for it when we were planning it before.
Yeah.
We're gonna kill it. When's because the next one is gonna be Miami?
We're in Miami in June 7th to the 9th. And then Atlanta, July 25th to the 28th.
Okay. So what, in your opinion so far, what's like the one you have to go to from now on? Atlanta? Okay.
I'll just give you an example. So Miami is going to be really cool. It's going to be a big event. And for most fitness events, Miami is going to blow most of them out the water, right? But with Ebony Fair Weekend, it's literally the biggest Black fitness expo in the world. So when we go to places like Houston, Atlanta, and even this year we're going to DC and Toronto, we haven't been to those two before, so we don't know I know they're going to be big, but Atlanta is the Black Hollywood. It is the Mecca. And we made a post just yesterday asking people to tag their favorite people in Atlanta who they want to see. We literally have like 700 comments on there. That's just giving that post has been shared. Let me show you how many times, like literally, just to show you the excitement. And it's not even about the actual event yet. It's about who do you want to see. I don't even know if you guys can see this on here or not. It's too bright because of hold on. Let me turn this light off and let's see. No, it's still too bright. It shows 567 shares on a flyer. 567 shares and 727 comments. That's letting you know how big Atlanta is going to be. Like, people are ready. Okay. They are going to go crazy. It is a 4-day weekend like no other. Yeah, it is going to be amazing. Rosie said Oscar. Let's go. We claiming it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's on the way. That's on the way.
So Atlanta would be it, bro. Because it's just honestly, I don't remember. Don't judge me. It's no judgments. Hey, I don't remember either, so it's all good. Based on the time when you sent it, though, he's trying to get brownie points. It was right after you said, I don't taste your judge your taste buds or something like that. So it doesn't even matter at this point.
I get you.
But yeah, so that's what's next for you. And then are you coming doing the Peachtree Road Race?
What is that?
Nazir would be disappointed in you.
The Peachtree Road Race?
He would be so disappointed. Hey, put in the chat. What is a Peachtree Road Race? Put in the chat if you know what the AJC Peachtree Road Race is. All the promotions that I do for this event, Darius.
When is it though? When? I've seen some of the clips.
I put it in every post. I'm just fucking. I put it it's July 4th every year.
Okay.
It is literally the biggest, and when I say big, is the largest 10K race in the world. And it happens in Atlanta every year on July 4th.
On the 4th? I'm gonna be out of the country, unfortunately for that, but I have to get out for Atlanta.
Where you going?
Mexico.
Cancun?
Tulum.
Okay. Oh, Blacks in Tulum. I know the people. Let me know. Blacks in Tulum. We know what it is. Y'all already know the Instagram page. Blacks in Tulum. You going down there with a group of people?
Oh, that's with the family.
Oh yeah. Well, you leave the family and you go to this, okay? You go to this. This is where you go, right here. Blacks in Tulum. This is the Instagram page. This is the vibe you go to.
Okay.
Hey, I don't know who you going with the fam, but you leave them in the room. You know what I'm saying? Your boy got you. I got friends down there in Tulum too. So I'm like, hey, I got somebody coming through. Appreciate that GOAT talk. I appreciate that for real. I think that's it for me, bro. You got any questions or anything you want to throw at me?
Man, no. Love what you've been doing with this show. I got to give you props on that. You've been killing it. Man.
Oh, I appreciate it, bro. I'm literally on here with my allergy problems. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna make it happen one way or another. And I think I told people this. This is one of those moments where people just watching can take it, because the fact that people are watching now, it's an hour long. They either watching it live or they're watching the replay, which it's crazy how many people watch the replay, bro. I literally go back and I watch it like, dang, 60, 70 people are watching replays. That's good. Right. But it's like, if you really want to do the YouTube thing, you have to treat it like you're getting paid for it when you're not getting paid for it.
Exactly.
Like, I have to treat it like the same. I still have to show up. I still have to make it happen, because let's say if there was monetized and it was a real show, or I'm really getting sponsors, I can't just decide not to do it, or I can't be too tired to do it. I have to still do it. So I give credit to the people like that's on ESPN, like Stephen A. Smith and all these guys that do this stuff for 15, 20, 30 years, and they get on there and they talk for 2-3 hours a day. We're only an hour in. Imagine us talking for another 2 hours every day.
To be fair, it didn't really feel like an hour. But every day, no, I definitely see that can add up. But you got to treat content creation like that anyway. You got to treat it like if it's not your full-time job, you have to treat it that way if you want to get somewhere with it.
Oh yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. We can keep it interesting, but I'm just talking about even when you're not feeling 100%.
Yeah, no, I definitely get you.
That part is just like, yo, you still, hey, you can't tell ESPN, yeah, I'm not. Let's just not have a show
today. Yeah, you know.
You know what I'm saying? Like, unless you're really, really in there with a fever or something, nah, they're not. The audience is still tuning in,
right?
And you got millions of people waiting on you. So my millions is the people that's in the chat right now watching the replay, and that's how I'm treating it.
Yes, sir. That's the only way.
But any last words? Tell people where they can follow you at on the way out. Where can they connect with you? And where can they, by the way, where can they send you some money?
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram. That's my primary app. So DariusBaker.tb. That's my go-to. I was like, look out for a real bakery. That's going to be coming up soon in this month. So I'm going to have a big announcement on that with a couple of projects following it. So just stay tuned for that.
Did you see the big screen? Did you see how
you see the big screen? I had the moment. Yeah, that was
great. Did that make you nervous? I don't know. I'll give you another moment. Go ahead.
Yeah, like yeah, no, I feel like a huge acceptance speech sort of thing. Thank you for everything. No, shout out to you, CJ, man.
When I do the big screen, some people get nervous. They're like, "Yo, CJ, you still there? You still there?" But yeah, I'll still be there. People in the chat, I appreciate it. It's crazy because, bro, when this whole Luna's laughing when I go sometimes live, especially summer night, it's crazy because more people tune in the later it gets. It's kind of interesting, bro. I still don't understand, but I think it's one of those things where people put their kids to bed and they just kind of lay down and then they turn on YouTube and then, oh, CJ's live. So that's just kind of how it works. And then I get the replay views later on. Right. So it's one of those things when you start out something, you got to be consistent no matter what, because you have to show up for people to just let them know, hey, I'm here regardless. And then eventually it becomes like embedded in their brain.
Right.
They're like, oh, I know CJ's live. Let me turn it on. I know CJ's live. Turn it on. So a year from now, hold me to it. I'm still doing this a minimum 3-4 days a week. And the show is like, you'd be like, dang, I remember CJ. You would get like 10 people tune in. Now it's 100 something. Like that's how
we got to do an update in a year.
Oh no, we're gonna talk before. Yeah, we're gonna have
100%. But yeah, we're gonna have to do some periodic updates.
Exactly.
See how everything's going.
Well, you guys know where to connect with him at. You will not be seeing him next year. You see him before next year. Make sure you tap in, follow on Instagram. Remember, unfollow somebody and go follow him. That's the rule. Unfollow one person. I don't care who it is, just as long as it ain't me, and go follow him.
I promise it's worth it. I promise.
Bet. So, all right, Darius, you stay right there. We're going to talk offline. Anybody who's still watching, please subscribe. Please like the channel. Give me a like. Go ahead and hit the like button. Matter of fact, stop. It's what they say. Smash the like button.
Smash the like button. Hit the subscribe button.
Smash the like button. Subscribe. Comment in the chat. I will see you guys next time. Hopefully, you caught some value. If you just catching the end, go watch the beginning because we dropped a lot of gems. See you guys next time. We out.